Hi, my name is Christopher Flakus. I'm a novelist and a student in pursuing my PhD in Baton Rouge at Louisiana State University, where I have a ESL tuitionship, a graduate assistantship, that is a tuition waiver allowing me to pursue my doctoral studies in comparative literature. I am so honored and so devastated to not be among you that I wanted to share these words that, for how paltry they may seem, they contain my spirit and my soul, and that's all I have to offer. So hopefully you will take it with kindness, because the world needs its poets, my friends, now more than ever. This is something a fictional time traveler said in a comic book I was reading recently. He appeared in Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein. He appeared in her carriage as it tumbled along. She was rushing to meet her husband. Now, we all know the history of what would happen. The baby's already coughing that she clutches to her arms. The world needs poets, the mercurial man says. Who are you, she asks. He speaks of an invisible college, speaks of her husband, says he's a great poet, repeats again the world needs its poets now more than ever, talks about recruiting her into something happier than the fate she suffered in life. And perhaps this is what I'm trying to talk to you about, for it is one of the means in which fiction functions as a vehicle to deliver justice where history and society often have failed to. The mercurial man disappears as suddenly as he appeared, leaving the author of Frankenstein clutching her sick daughter, she herself the daughter of an amazing woman, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley, an incredible human being. She stares in bewilderment at the space where the man was and clutches the coughing child in her arms. The world needs its poets now, more than ever. Retrocontinuity is restorative justice, metafictional self-management, call it what you will. But fiction, words put together on the page to create a feeling that can never be approximated by words, that's our job. We're magicians. We're creators of illusions. Illusions that reach at greater truths. We're not liars, but we'll lie if it helps to get to a truth that can't be articulated. We're not quantifiable. What we do is important, but we can't show you on a graph why it is. You just have to feel it. The world needs its poets now more than ever. And I use that term broadly. I myself am a fiction writer. I love poetry and I write it for fun, but I know where my talents lie. One of the common traits of post-traumatic stress disorder, which I suffer from, is repetition. We use repetition of stories, of events, of words. This is a powerful and universal thing. It's an essential detail of PTSD that I noticed in the formalistic structure of so many works by Christopher Marlowe and other authors that I believe now were suffering as I am from PTSD and found a way to take their disease and make it part of their art. For is that not what we are here to do? Weave our suffering into something greater. When something painful happens to someone else, it's unfortunate. When it happens to us, it's an opportunity. The best poetry moves beyond language. And in this repetition, post-traumatic stress, the motivator, whatever the motivator may be, the repetition rises. Feelings are engaged. Motivation's gripped. And the work becomes a thing in itself, closed off, self-encompassing. The best poetry moves beyond language. Thanks to the equally creative, though often overlooked discipline of literary translation, which proves text to be a living thing, something that evolves over time, and therefore, even though the preservation of a text's original form is important, seeing the drafts and reading them with modern eyes is essential. For those upon the debate stage who helped make this possible, I want to commend you. You who learned the dance of words that constitutes what must continue to set the standard for what civil dialectical engagement should mean. You eradicate the ad hominem, and you challenge the cheap propaganda that has devastated my country. You treat intellectual debates as they should be, as holy things, a ground to ask questions, and not a place for answers, a place for doubt, for wisdom can be found nowhere else. In my country, it's treated as a competitive sport, a sweaty wrestling ring surrounded by fists clutching bet money, thrusting them into the air around a leathery, sweaty mat. The argument is the preservation of civility in the face of conflicting viewpoints, diplomacy, kindness to your opponent, honor, integrity, things that we've lost. And in this loss, I'm reminded of the words of the great Dr. Johnson, words that I've thought about my whole life. He who makes a beast of himself is rid of the pains of being a man. So then it must be true that to be a man, we must accept the pains that come along with it. The pains of empathy, the pain of morality, the pain of conscience, the pain of guilt. That's what makes you human. As a good friend once told me, buddy, if you feel like you're losing your soul, then at least you've got a soul left to lose. All essential qualities for leadership are missing in our regime. But you, on the debate stage, you stand for humility, self-discipline, control, and honor. Inshallah, these qualities will be global once again and considered civil, for they are thousands of years old and respected for a reason. There's something that binds our cultures together. For, as I said before, we might seem disparate and different, and yet we are so much the same. And to me, you are my brothers and my sisters that we haven't met. America has fallen. What you see on the news every night is the confused shock of an already fallen state as it's being carved up for profit and gain, leaving behind the very fools who have been tricked into the greatest of lies. For wasn't it Joseph Goebbels who said that the bigger the lie, the more likely that the public will believe it? And to be fair, wasn't it Stalin who said that the death of one man is a tragedy and the death of a million a statistic? It is a painful time to be a real human being. It is a painful time to be part of mankind. But it is an honor and a hope to be invited to speak amongst you.